Hello, family and friends. Hope you guys are blessed beyond measure. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today, just a little short one today, about be, do, have. Be fruitful, do multiply, and have dominion. So the Lord instructs us to be fruitful. That means that we're capable of bearing fruit. That means that there is something inside of us called a seed that can sprout fruit. It can produce fruit. What is fruit? What does fruit look like? Well, one of the things that fruit looks like, a duplication of what it is that He is. In other words, we're supposed to duplicate some of the characteristics and traits of our Father, right? There's a lot of us on this earth, including me, that look a lot like our dad. So why? Why do we look like our dads? Why would anybody look like their parent? Well, because you were a seed of your parent. In fact, you've got some things in you that came from your parents. Traits and characteristics. Now, there are some things that we learn that are not good. There are some traits and characteristics that we pick up along the way that are probably not that beneficial. You were born with certain traits. A lot of that has to do with the way that you look. Maybe some of your default for whether it be health or lack thereof, those types of things. Your physical nature have to do with some of the traits that were inherent in your parents. Now, there are some characteristics and traits that have to do with the way that we behave that come from your parents that are not ideal. And then maybe some of you guys had fantastic parents and they had a perfect marriage and that didn't happen. The deal is that we all, 100% of us, including the parents that are watching this and the kids that are watching this, had screwed up parents. God the Father was the only one that was never screwed up. Adam and Eve weren't screwed up whenever God made them. They became screwed up. They weren't born that way because God made them. So when God made them, He made them perfect. He made them for eternity. He said, be fruitful, have dominion, multiply. He was talking about multiply. In other words, grow the family. Multiply yourselves because I've made you in my image. I want a bunch of children that bear my image. There are, obviously, Satan did not bear His image, and God created Satan. Everything that was created by God. The Bible says the Word was God. The Word was with God. And there was nothing made that hasn't been made by God. And so we know these things to be true if we believe what it is that the Bible says. You either believe all of it or you might as well not believe any of it. And if you believe all of it, well, then you need to understand what it is that it says about our character and nature. What is our default? Well, our default, we're supposed to, the instructions for living comes from the Bible. We know that we're supposed to be fruitful, have dominion, and multiply. We know that we're supposed to do those things. As I want to encourage you to be fruitful. You have fruit to bear. We all need to discover the thing that is inside of us that is worth duplicating. We all need to discover inside of us the fruit that God planted in us. We have to become His in order to have that. The fruits and the character and the nature of God. God was a creative being above all else. His nature was to create. He created everything. He created everything. Just think, before there was anything, there was only Him. There was only Him and only the present, an infinite present. There was no past, no future. Every moment was now because time didn't exist. He lives outside of time. You have the ability. You have some of the characters and traits of the one who created you, the one who knows every hair, the number of hairs on your head. You have the ability to display some of the characteristics and traits that He gave you. And those characteristics and traits will benefit you greatly in this life. That's why He gave them to you. That's why He told you to be fruitful. A lot of people think that being fruitful and multiplying specifically is related to having kids. It is not. He's talking about growing the family. But being fruitful has nothing to do with having kids. Being fruitful is displaying those characteristics and traits that He gave you for all to see and for people to benefit from. What good is a fruit tree if you can't eat from it? We're supposed to be able to bear fruit, not just for the sake of bearing fruit, but for the benefit of others. And so that other people can look at us and know what kind of tree we are. I hope that your life is fruitful. God bless you guys. Talk to you again soon.